And thanks for joining us for ABC24 This Week, where we dig deeper beyond the headlines and the most prominent stories in our region this past week. I'm ABC24 content manager Brad Broders, filling in this week for Richard Branson. Let's dive into the topics. As Memphis Mayor-elect Paul Young forms his transition team, we have new reaction from his partners at the city and state level as he inherits a major negotiation, figuring out which Memphis stadiums get how much money and keeping everyone happy in the process. We'll explain. And Memphis in May makes a big announcement. There'll be no Beale Street Music Festival next spring, and the long-term future of the event is unclear. But we have breaking news on this Friday about possible next steps for an event in May at that park. We'll explain. And with new fundraising numbers and a new poll, we'll take a deeper dive in the state of two races, the Mississippi gubernatorial contest next month and the Tennessee U.S. Senate race next year. Well, I want to introduce my esteemed panel, starting on my far left, ABC24 political analyst Otis Sanford, along with Daily Memphian reporter Sam Hardiman. Thanks, gentlemen, for both being here today. Well, first up, 1 week after his election win, Memphis Mayor-elect Paul Young now shifts his focus to forming a transition and administrative team between now and January 1st. Here's outgoing Memphis Mayor Jim Strickland and Governor Bill Lee weighing in recent days.
Well, the most important thing, I think, for the next 2.5 months is hiring a team that will work with him. Issues and what he's going to do that you talk about on the campaign trail are still important, but it's that team. Unless you have a good quality team, you can't execute on that vision, and he knows that.
If Tennessee is going to continue to lead the country, then Memphis has to have a continued acceleration, and I think the new mayor and I both agree that that's likely and possible, and look forward to working together with him.
And as we'll start with you, what specific moves are you kind of interested, curious about Paul Young making between now and January 1st?
Well, certainly the transition team obviously has to be his first big move here, because that helps him to establish his administration. And while he is not giving any names right now, he has said that he wants to get some of the best people in Memphis, knowledgeable people in Memphis, to help him put this together. I was told that former U of M president David Rudd might be on that transition team. We'll have to wait and see about that. But I think that's number one. And then he has to be thinking about all these other things that are going to be on his plate come January 1. And so he needs to be dealing with those now. We'll talk about some of them during the show. And then again, you mentioned earlier about what's going on with specific appointments, like the police chief and all the other major appointments. He has to be thinking about that right now.
And Sam, you spoke with your Daily Memphian colleagues earlier this week, speaking to him on a variety of transition team topics. What kind of stood out to you in that discussion, what he was kind of relaying to you this week?
Yeah, it was just me. It wasn't anybody else. And I would say, like, what stuck out to me was he very quickly gave Doug McGowen, the MLGW CEO, the thumbs up. And so while he said we're going to have some discussions, it's very clear he believes in what's happening there. So I don't think that's something that we really should expect to move on. I think he was very measured in the way he talked about Police Chief C.J. Davis. He said, I have to figure out what her vision is, and we have to have an in-depth conversation. You know, they've exchanged maybe some text messages or something to that point. That was Wednesday. I kind of view that as we'll wait and see. Those were the first things that really stuck out.
Yeah, and Otis, I mean, that's what he said on this program last week, in addition to what Sam with the Daily Memphian, kind of, I would say, vague on what the future with Police Chief C.J. Davis. What did you make of that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's been vague, and especially in the comments he made to Sam earlier this week. But he needs to get away from the vagueness and be specific here, because I believe that if C.J. Davis sees that she may not be there, she may be ready to leave even before January 1. And since crime was number one in the minds of Memphians during this election, he's going to have to make that a priority. And you have to start at the top, make it clear, even before you take office, whether C.J. Davis is going to be the person leading going forward, or if she's not, I got to move quickly to get someone capable and experienced enough to take this awesome job.
Got it.